About 40 minutes. We'll do it today and see with room temperature cream if it's a little bit less. And it generates about 1.5 cups of butter, which should be enough probably for your family to utilize for the bread and so forth. So, but like I say, if you have questions, please feel free to ask. I'm going to turn the time over to Carrie. He started. Yeah, Dan, go ahead.
You might want to tell them about their cleanup bucket that's on their list.
Oh, what we're going to do. I talked to Susie this morning. She's made arrangements with, or we'll make arrangements with Sister Family. She works at Albertsons. She'll provide us with a 5-gallon bucket. And what we'll do with that bucket, we'll have that here for you loaded with the food supplies that you'll need for the first evening, Thursday night evening meal, which would be your flour mixture, soup mixer, soup additives and so forth, so that you'll have your, and that'll be in the bucket. And so you'll have the bucket with you, and we'll provide that with you when you come that first day, and it'll have your food supplies for that first night in it. So you won't need to make arrangements to get that bucket yourself. We'll provide that for you. Yes.
Me?
Yes, please.
I have a stupid question, but are we providing all this stuff? Are you guys providing it for us? Are we supposed to get it all ourselves?
Greg can probably.
You've got a mom and pop equipment list, and on that equipment list is a 14-inch Dutch oven. You will need to provide that. So,
Okay,
y'all.
So we have.
I realize that some people are very, I don't know how to put it, touchy about their Dutch ovens, but sometimes wards will have them.
Up to the Scouts.
The Scouts.
You can probably get just about any one of those things and the Dutch oven for Scouting.
Yeah.
I know we've got that stuff in our.
I only mention the Dutch oven because that seems to be the one thing that, no, you're not borrowing mine.
Yeah. It's all seasoned just right.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
mess it up.
Yeah.
Are we cooking on wood? How are we cooking?
Briquettes. And we will provide you with a 10-pound. Carrie indicated today, we talked about it, a 10-pound bag of briquettes will be able to do enough to cook the meal on Thursday night and to do the bread and turkey on the feast night. So one 10-pound bag should provide you with adequate briquettes to do your cooking.
I don't have a pot like that, but mine's aluminum, and I don't know if you can cook on charcoal with it, can you?
Sure.
Just bring the aluminum one, or stainless steel, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have a Dutch oven, but you want to bring that too.
You need that pot. And in fact, I'll use that pot today to show you how to make bread.
Yes.
You're going to use that to make bread.
That stew pot looks like it could be a canner, like.
Yeah.
It's a little smaller than a canner, but one canner would work.
I mean, there's different size canners. If they just took the inside out, I mean, I'm sure there's people like me that have one that has used it.
Tell them where you got it.
Like I say, this is a 12-quart, but if you have one that's a little larger, that would still accommodate.
This is a 16, and I didn't have one, so I ran down to Walmart and bought it. Shame on me. Anyway, it's a little bit bigger.
I don't know if Carrie's going to tell you this. The other thing that will be in your that bucket of supplies, Carrie is making up a list of all the food you're going to have, plus all the recipes. And that will be laminated or put in a plastic sleeve, and that will be in the bucket. So all that information will be
Got
there
all
for
the
you.
how to, what if. In fact, I'm going to ask for volunteers today to help me, and you're going to read from this, so I do it right. Sure.
There's some there.
Yeah, I've got a few here today, or I can email them to you, or I can, make copies available to you. That's whatever works for you. Would be great.
We're going to pass this around. You're going to need a 14-inch Dutch oven and a 16-inch Dutch oven.
No. One or the other.
You need both to cook.
Well, we're providing one of them.
Okay. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
We will provide one or the other, but if you've got a 16-inch, or if you have multiples, would you please put your name on this list, indicate what size you have, because you will need, for your family, you will need one 16 and one 14 so that you can cook the bread and the turkey. So if you just add that to your list, like I said, that'll help you, that'll help us understand how many you need. This would be a 16-inch that we have here, and Terry's going to be using that. And we got the 14-inch with bread in it today too. So I'm going to turn the time over to Carrie and let him start on it. I'm going to pour the cream in this churn and we'll get started. We may even let you guys pass it around like you tell me with it. So,
If you let me know that, that would be great.
what's that? This is just a standard
These
16.
are standards. Everything that's here today, this one as well as my 16 and 14, they're standard. But there are deep 14s. If you have a deep 14, bring it because it'll replace a 16 inch. You can cook in a deep 14 what you can in a 16 inch normal size. So some of the ones I'm going to loan to people for the night of the feast, I've got a couple of deep 14s that we're going to be using that night as well to add. So if everybody can make sure they have one Dutch oven, we'll make sure you've got the second Dutch oven for the feast.